Start our session. I want to welcome everyone to our meet and greet series. Again, we'll remind you kindly, if you can please enter your first and last name in the chat. All names will be entered in a drawing for a special prize at the end of the session. So we must be present to win. Please note that this meeting will be recorded and it will be uploaded onto our YouTube channel. You may find the YouTube channel if you search under LUSD, Parent and Family Engagement. So you can find the recording, and if you'd like to get the information again or share it with somebody else.
Estaremos iniciando nuestra serie que se llama Conocernos y Saludarnos de LUSD. Esta es la sesión número 1 del Departamento de Equidad, Acceso y Servicios de Instrucción. Les pedimos que por favor ingresen su primer nombre y apellido en el chat. El propósito de esto es porque estaremos tomando asistencia y al final de esta reunión estaremos ingresando sus nombres en un sorteo, y para que ustedes puedan ganar tienen que estar presentes. Les queremos hacer al tanto que esta reunión se estará grabando y se va a hacer disponible mediante YouTube. Solamente tienen que buscar LUSD involucramiento familiar para que puedan encontrar esta serie que estamos haciendo ahorita.
So in order for us to facilitate a more welcoming workshop, we'd like for you to share these norms that will help us during the time together. Okay, so first, we would like for you to mute your microphone. So if you're not speaking, go ahead and keep your microphone on mute. Second, please feel free to turn off your video camera if you don't feel comfortable with it on. But we do prefer to see your smiling faces. So if you feel comfortable with turning them on, please do so. And finally, we ask for your patience in case we have any technical problems, which we have, experience often. We just ask for your patience.
Para que podamos facilitar un taller más efectivo y ameno, nos gustaría compartir algunas normas que nos ayudarán durante nuestro tiempo juntos. En primer lugar, les pedimos que silencien su micrófono haciendo clic en el botón de silencio cuando no estemos compartiendo. Segundo, siéntase libre de apagar su cámara de video si así lo prefiere y no se siente confortable teniéndola encendida, aunque sí nos encantaría ver su rostro. Y finalmente, les pedimos paciencia por si tenemos alguna dificultad técnica. Agradecemos mucho su paciencia y su apoyo.
And here are just a few additional functions that you may find helpful during our time together. The first one is the chat box, and the chat box you can use to type in your response or ask a question. It can be found on the right-hand side of your screen, right next to the shapes, okay? And the second one is the raise your hand button. That one is directly in the middle of the screen. And so if, someone is presenting and you have maybe a comment or a question along the way, you can go ahead and click on the icon for the raise your hand, and we will see it, and then we will call on you when it is appropriate. And the last one is to leave the meeting, the red phone button. If you feel that you need to leave the meeting, please go ahead and use that red button, and you can enter back at any time, and we'll just admit you when you come back in. Okay?
Y ahora les pedimos que miren este diagrama. Aquí hay algunas funciones adicionales que pueden resultar útiles durante nuestro tiempo juntos. A mano derecha tienen la ventana del chat. Cuando quieran levantar la mano, ese icono está en la parte del medio de su ordenador. Y para salir de la reunión solamente van a hacer clic al icono rojo en donde está el teléfono.
Thank you, Ruby. So today we know more than ever that it truly takes the entire village to ensure that every child and family has the support they need to transition to a new and ever so changing reality. For that reason, this meet and greet series was planned and prepared for all of you. We want to introduce, or for some of you even reintroduce you to your LUSD village. So every Tuesday during the month of September, we will have the opportunity to meet with different department teams to share how we can continue to support our students and families. Today, we're starting off our meet and greet with our very own Equity, Access, and Instructional Services Department. And next week on Tuesday, September 14th, we'll follow up with our Technology Department. Then on Tuesday, September 21st, will be Student Services. And then we're going to close up with the remaining departments on Tuesday, September 28th.
Hoy sabemos más que nunca que realmente se necesita toda la comunidad para garantizar que cada niño y familia tengan el apoyo que necesitan para hacer la transición a una realidad nueva y continuamente cambiante. Por esa razón se planeó esta serie que se llama Conocernos y Saludarnos. Queremos presentarles, o para algunos de ustedes, volver a presentarles su comunidad de LUSD. Todos los martes durante el mes de septiembre tendremos la oportunidad de reunirnos con un equipo de departamento totalmente diferente para compartir cómo es que podemos ayudar a nuestros estudiantes y familias. Hoy, durante nuestra primera sesión de Conocernos y Saludarnos, compartiremos más sobre el Departamento de Equidad, Acceso y Servicios de Instrucción. El martes 14 de septiembre será el Departamento de Tecnología. Martes 21 de septiembre, Departamento de Servicios Estudiantiles, y completamos la serie. El martes 28 de septiembre, departamentos de primaria y secundaria. En este momento me gustaría presentarles a la doctora Senko, directora de E.A.I.
Yes, so at this moment, we would love to introduce our department director, our amazing director, Dr. Sanko, if she's on the call already.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias to everyone. I appreciate all of you being here, and welcome to our meet and greet series. I first would like to, Ruby, am I going too fast? Okay.
Very good, Dr. Senko. Buenos días a todos. Agradezco la presencia de todos ustedes. Quiero dar paso a esta introducción. Dr. Senko, you're good to go.
I want to thank Mrs. Velasco and Mrs. Blanco for the outstanding job that they do to support parents all year long. Thank you so much for what you do, and just know we appreciate you very much. I have a fabulous team in equity, access, and instructional services, and we do a wide variety of functions here in the district.
Quiero agradecer a Miss Velasco y a Miss Blanco por el trabajo arduo que hacen para apoyar a nuestros padres de familia. También tengo un equipo increíble de equidad, acceso y servicios de instrucción que les estaré presentando en breve.
All right, and so you will be learning a lot about our department and all of the parent groups that we have and we support. It's our parent and family engagement, our PAC, which supports our migrant ed students and families, our DLAC, District English Learner Advisory Committee, our LPAC, which is our English Language Proficiency Assessments, and our APAC, which is our African American Parent Advisory Council, and it was just formally board approved on August 19th. So that's why we are excited, because it's a new group. And then our Asian American Pacific Islander Parent Group, our AAPI group. So I just am really thankful that our parents have a place to feel welcome and included.
Ustedes estarán aprendiendo mucho de nuestro departamento y consecuentemente les quiero estar introduciendo a los equipos y a los concilios que tenemos en nuestro departamento. El primero es involucramiento de los padres y la familia, que es PFE. El segundo es Comité Asesor de Padres, Programa de Educación Migrante, conocido como PAC. El tercero es DLAC, Comité Asesor de Estudiantes de Inglés del Distrito. El cuarto es LPAC, Pruebas de Suficiencia en el Idioma Inglés de California, Y después tenemos el Consejo Asesor de Padres Afroamericanos, que apenas fue aprobado, entonces nos alegra mucho el poderles presentar este concilio. Y el último, pero no el menos importante, es Grupo de Padres Asiáticos Afroamericanos de las Islas del Pacífico.
And make sure you say that the APAC is new. From Augusto. I try.
Good.
All right. So at this point, I really want you to feel welcome. We have a great year in store for you, starting with our YouTube channel, our monthly placemats, our meet and greets, our virtual parent chat, our book chat series. I know that's going to continue this year. We're going to definitely try to have our parent university this year. And hopefully, you know, with COVID, hopefully it'll calm down and we can have some more parent field trips. So I thank you, and we're so grateful to have you here.
En este punto solo quiero que se sientan cómodos. Tenemos tantas cosas que les vamos a ofrecer, como la serie de libros que estuvimos ofreciendo el año pasado, la Universidad de Padres, talleres nuevos en donde les estaremos presentando nuevos temas que a ustedes les parecen interesantes, y también estaremos haciendo todos estos talleres y todas estas prácticas disponibles mediante YouTube para que ustedes puedan accesar cuando lo crean necesario o cuando quieran.
Thank you, Dr. Sanko, for all your support, and we continue to look forward to continue to have you join us in all our future events as well.
Le queremos agradecer a la doctora Sanko por su apoyo y esperamos verla aquí presente en todos los talleres que tenemos, y muchas gracias por su apoyo.
Dr. Sanko is always supporting us all throughout all our events and workshops and our work, so we're really happy that she's here to kick us off at this series. So again,
Yes.
thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Sanko. We couldn't have done it without you.
Siempre nos apoya en todos nuestros talleres, en todos los proyectos que iniciamos. Entonces le queremos dar las gracias por siempre ser una persona que lidera, por ejemplo, y que nos apoya en todos los aspectos posibles. Muchas gracias.
You guys are the best.
Ustedes son increíbles.
So for those that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Jasmine Velasco, and it's a pleasure to highlight the work that we do in support of our parents and families alongside our E.A.I. family. My colleague Fauna Blanco and I both work as parent and family engagement specialists under our department, E.A.I. I have served for our community for 20 years now, previously as a classroom teacher, instructional lead teacher, but most importantly, I'm a mom and an auntie who, like you, are just trying to do the best for our children. So we hope that all the information you gained today is helpful and will continue to support you throughout the school year.
Mi nombre es Jasmine Velasco y es un placer destacar el trabajo que hacemos en apoyo de los padres y las familias, junto con nuestra familia de E.A.I. Mi colega Fauna Blanco y yo trabajamos juntas como especialistas en participación de padres y familias bajo el Departamento de Educación, Acceso y Servicios de Instrucción. He servido a nuestra comunidad más de 20 años, antes como maestra líder de aula y de instrucción, pero lo más importante es que soy una madre y una tía que, como ustedes, intentamos hacer lo mejor para los niños en nuestras vidas.
Thank you, Ruby. Hi, everyone. My name is Fauna Blanco, and I'm happy to be here today with you, and I want to thank you all for joining us, and we hope, again, like Jasmine said, that by the end of today's mini workshop, you feel a little more comfortable with the tools and resources that we'll be sharing. And we hope that you get to know our E.A.I. family a little bit better. You know, we love our E.A.I. family. They are the best, and we're here for you and your needs. And so please let us know if we can do anything for you.
Hola a todos, mi nombre es Fauna Blanco y estoy feliz de estar aquí hoy con ustedes. Solo quiero agradecerles a todos ustedes por acompañarnos hoy, y esperamos que al final del taller de hoy se sientan un poco más cómodos con algunas de las herramientas y recursos que les haremos disponibles y compartiremos hoy. Sin más preámbulos, únanse a nosotros en un rápido desarrollo de comunidades. Bienvenidos.
So we have a whole packed agenda today. You're going to get to meet, like Dr. Sanko said, a lot of our team members. So we want to start off with a little bit of the work that we do, and then you'll continue to learn a little bit more about our colleagues' work and how they can support you throughout the year. So for us, we really could not do this alone, right? We know that engaging families really involves the entire school community, and that's why we're happy to be able to offer families a parent and family education calendar in partnership with our parent leaders and community partners, where families can join us to learn and connect, even if it's virtually. We were able to do this, you know, the whole last year virtually, and we look forward to doing it in person when it's allowed. But for this moment on, we're going to continue at this format. But we'd love if you join us either for the parent leadership opportunities that we have, our educational opportunities, either as this workshop, a standalone workshop, or a series. We have a lot of decision-making committees that you can participate as well. And like Dr. Sanko mentioned earlier, we really hope to be able to bring back our Parent University celebratory event that comes at the end of the school year. So we hope that as we get more information, that these events can continue to happen for all our families.
Nos gustaría compartir un poco sobre el trabajo que hacemos para apoyar los esfuerzos de participación de padres y familias de nuestro distrito. Y realmente no podríamos hacer esto solos, la verdad. Porque, como sabemos, involucrar a las familias involucra a toda la comunidad escolar. Es por eso que nos complace poder ofrecer a nuestras familias un calendario educativo para padres y familias en asociación con nuestros padres líderes y socios comunitarios, donde las familias pueden unirse a nosotros para aprender y conectarse. Nos encantaría que se uniera a nosotros a través de oportunidades de liderazgo para padres, oportunidades educativas a través de talleres independientes, comités de toma de decisiones, evento de celebración de la Universidad de los Padres.
Now, Fauna is going to walk you in a moment through the website so you can find out how you can access some of these events.
Y ahora Fauna les va a dar un tour virtual de cómo pueden ustedes ingresar a estos eventos.
Thank you, Jazz. Thank you, Ruby. Okay, so we would like to go ahead and share with you how you can best have access to all of the services available for families. We like to call this a one-stop shop because everything is really under one location. We prepare this site that houses all the information for district-led parent and family support workshops, as well as other resources. And if, we just take a little time to just go ahead and walk you through the site. If you go ahead and type in the chat, just to let us know how many of you have interacted with the Google Sites. Put yes if you have and no if you haven't. That would help me out. Thank you.
Nos gustaría compartir con ustedes cómo pueden tener mejor acceso a todos los servicios disponibles para las familias en una ventanilla única o en un solo lugar. Hemos preparado un sitio que contiene toda la información para los talleres de apoyo para padres y familias dirigidos por el distrito, así como otros recursos. Hoy nos gustaría guiarlos a través de este sitio. Y para los padres que han podido ingresar a este sitio, les pedimos que por favor ingresen su primer nombre y apellido para estar al tanto de cuáles han sido los padres que han podido accesar a este sitio.
Okay, thank you. I see a yes and then 2 no's. Okay. Well, this is our LUSD parent and family Google Sites. And you can access this Google site by typing in LUSDFAM. So that's LUSDFam.mylusd.org.
Página de inicio, se puede acceder al sitio web solamente ingresando lusdfam.mylusd.org.
Okay, so when you log on to the site, the first thing that you'll see are the 3 buttons. One that takes you to the Parent University webpage. That's Jasmine and myself. That's our webpage that has information like the monthly placemats and also how to access the YouTube channel. We have the distance learning support button that takes you to distance learning support for those of you whose children are still doing virtual academy. And also we have LUSD's mental health resources website. Go ahead, Ruby.
Tenemos 3 botones. El primer botón es de Universidad para Padres. El segundo botón es de soporte de aprendizaje a distancia. El tercero es del sitio web de recursos de salud mental de LUSD. Y también tenemos el calendario y PDF del taller de apoyo para padres y familias.
Okay, and I'd like to focus on the next one, which is our parent and family calendar that's linked to all of our workshops that are happening in the month of September. So for example, for today's meeting, this one is in English. I'll share with you in Spanish in a minute. If you click on the Google link here, it'll take you directly into the Google Meet. Okay, so there's nowhere else you have to go. You just click on it, find the meeting ID, click on that meeting ID link, and it'll take you directly into our meeting link, our Google Meet, excuse me.
Cuando ingresen al calendario en donde se ofrecen los talleres, solamente tienen que hacer clic en el enlace. Y si quieren ingresar por vía telefónica, solamente llamar al teléfono y poner el PIN que les requiere. Y eso sería todo.
Okay, and also the flyer is linked here as well, just for your convenience.
Y también los folletos están enlazados, están sí, están enlazados con la invitación del taller.
And then for those of you who would like to print this out to have, to refer to, maybe if you'd like to put it on your fridge or somewhere, just so you can have it handy, this here, you can click on this page here and you can print that page, the pages.
Y en caso de que quieran tener este calendario disponible en forma física, solamente hacen clic a la imagen y pueden imprimir el calendario para tenerlo disponible en persona, físicamente.
Thank you, Ruby. I'm not going to spend too much time on the rest, but I'd just like to show you that on the left-hand side, if you click on the lines here on the left-hand side, you'll see that it'll take you to our parent and family engagement policy. We also have videos posted. We have schools. So here, if you'd like to access any schools, you click here and all the schools from CDC, early education on all the way to high school will be here for you. And then also for socials, if you'd like to connect with Linwood Unified School District, we do have a Facebook page, we have a Twitter account, and also an Instagram page.
Anna, can you click on the left-hand side, please?
Yes.
Thank you. Y no me quiero demorar, pero solamente les quiero decir que a mano izquierda tenemos unos iconos en los que pueden hacer clic. Uno es para la póliza de involucramiento de padres, otro es para los videos que nosotros grabamos y les hacemos disponibles, y el otro es para acceder a los sitios de las escuelas, y el último es para nuestros sitios sociales, para que nos puedan contactar mediante Facebook o puedan acceder a YouTube y en ese tipo de sociales. Good to go.
One moment.
While Fauna's getting the presentation back up, we just admitted more participants. Again, we remind you kindly to put your first and last name in the chat so that you can be entered into the drawing.
Lo que Fauna pone la presentación otra vez, les pedimos que por favor a las nuevas personas que van ingresando pongan su primer nombre y apellido en el chat para que podamos tomar asistencia porque estaremos haciendo una rifa al final de esta reunión.
Thank you. And at this time, we'd like to go ahead and introduce our next E.A.I team member, Ms. Lorraine Mendez and Ms. Josefina Moreno.
Y en este momento nos gustaría introducir a nuestros próximos integrantes del grupo de educación E.A.I, que se llama Lorraine Mendez y Josefina Moreno.
Hi, everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's so nice to be here. I'm very excited. Ruby, I'm going to drop something into the chat for you so that after I do my, the English part, you could perhaps do the Spanish. I was going to go ahead and do it, but, then I get myself a little bit. I want to make sure that I'm saying all of the words exactly the way that they're meant to be.
Oh, you're good.
So, my name is Lorraine Mendez, and I'm so excited to be here this morning to share one of the many programs within our Equity, Access, and Instructional Services Department. Josefina Moreno, our Migrant Ed Community Liaison, and I oversee and support the migrant students and families within Linwood Unified School District and the surrounding communities, those communities who do not have a support system for migrant students. We also house the PAC, that's the Parent Advisory Council, where our parents are able to get involved in helping to identify the needs of our students and of themselves. And what we're hoping that happens after this presentation is that you will spread the word of all of these wonderful supplemental services that are available to our students and our families.
Hola a todos, feliz martes. Mi nombre es Lorraine Mendez y estoy muy emocionada de estar aquí para compartir uno de los muchos programas dentro de nuestro Departamento de Equidad, Acceso y Servicios de Instrucción. Josefina Moreno es nuestra enlace comunitaria de educación migrante y yo supervisamos y apoyamos a los estudiantes y familias migrantes dentro del Distrito Escolar Unificado de Linwood y las comunidades circundantes que no tienen un sistema de apoyo para los estudiantes migrantes. También albergamos al PAC, que es el consejo asesor en donde los padres pueden evaluar las necesidades de estudiantes. y a continuación les vamos a hacer disponible una imagen a donde pueden acceder a recursos que nosotros les hacemos disponibles mediante el programa de PAC.
Good, Ruby?
Yeah, we're good to
Okay.
go, Lorraine.
Okay, so this first slide, it basically what it does is it shows during our migrant ed program, we're able to have either in-house field trips or actually go to sites where our students are able to get involved in different activities. And because of our current situation, we're still working on it, but we're able to do these extra special activities with this subgroup of students.
Básicamente lo que hacemos es que en el programa Migrante tenemos paseos en los cuales nuestros estudiantes se pueden involucrar. Actualmente por la pandemia pues no nos es posible, mas sin embargo tenemos unos recursos disponibles por los cuales mediante los estudiantes pueden hacer actividades.
Thank you, Ruby. Fauna, next slide, please.
I'm sorry, I'm not sure why it's not going. One moment.
Okay.
Thank you for your patience. There we go.
Thank you, Fauna.
Okay.
And so what I put together for you is a placemat. Our parents, every month I send out a placemat during our PAC meeting as well as electronically, which contains all of the information for that month within the migrant education program.
Básicamente lo que ven aquí disponible es un mantel, por llamarlo así, que contiene toda la información individualmente de cada mes, pero este es para el mes de septiembre, para nuestra familia de educación migrante.
The migrant education program, we're federally funded, and we service children whose parents or relatives work in jobs related to fishing, forestry, livestock, and agriculture. And the most important thing, please remember that it's free. There is no proof of residency required. So this is the migrant program. This doesn't have anything to do with residency.
Estamos fundados federalmente como programa y es para personas que trabajan en agricultura y no tienen que tener ningún tipo de residencia para formar parte de este programa.
Our first parent advisory council meeting, our PAC meeting, is going to be October 13th. So I'm inviting all of you. I have a personal invitation right now from all of us. These invitations will go out at every school site, but even though you may not work in one of these fields, or you might not have a migrant education student, you're always welcome to attend these meetings.
Nuestro primer concilio será el 13 de octubre. Les invito a todos personalmente, aunque las invitaciones van a estar disponibles mediante las escuelas. Y solamente quiero recalcar que no tienen que formar parte de un grupo agricultor o trabajar en ese tipo de trabajo para que puedan asistir a nuestras reuniones. Cualquiera que quiera asistir es bienvenido.
Thank you, Ruby. And in the little post-it that says parent and family in educational opportunities, Fauna, if you go ahead and click that, it'll hyperlink for all of you to attend our parent and family workshops that are actually going to begin next week.
Unfortunately, Lorraine, I have to request access.
Okay, so I don't know. I'm not sure if they could see my cursor, but in the where it says parent and family educational opportunities, when you click on that, anything that's blue, it's a hyperlink. Once you click on that, it'll direct you exactly to the Zoom link for you to attend the parent and family workshops.
Y quiero dejarles saber que aquí hay un papelito en esta imagen que estamos viendo, en donde pueden hacer clic. Básicamente quiero que estén al tanto que todas las palabras que estén en azul y que estén subrayadas, pueden hacerlas clic y les lleva un enlace. Y ese enlace los va a llevar a oportunidades educacionales para padres que les llevan a unos talleres para que ustedes puedan ingresar.
Thank you, Ruby. And last but not least, our theme for this year for the Migrant Education Program, which will be 16 Saturdays for our students, and we'll be supporting parents and family as well, either via workshops or a book club. So our theme this year is celebrating diversity through the arts. And so our students are going to be we're going to be integrating language arts, math, and English language development through the arts. So it's going to be this program is meant to be extra fun for our students, extra fun while they're learning. And then you have all of the first half of our Migrant Ed Fall program. Our first date is October 16th, and we'll be ending the fall series January 22nd.
You said October 16th?
Yes.
And ending?
January 22nd.
Quiero que estén al tanto que vamos a tener 16 sábados en los que estaremos integrando la escritura y matemáticas, y esto va a ser mediante el arte. Queremos que sea algo muy divertido para nuestros estudiantes y los padres. Tiene la primera mitad del otoño empezando el 16 de octubre y nuestra serie otoñal termina el 27 de enero.
Thank you, Ruby. And thank you, Fauna and Jasmine, for putting this together and for allowing each one of our little niches within our department to present. I hope that all of you, again, if this is not applicable to you, that you at least know services that we do provide within our department, and perhaps you have a friend or another family member that we're able to support and to provide services to. So thank you all for being here, and I hope you're having a wonderful morning so far.
Gracias a Fana y Jasmine por crear esto. Les pedimos que si esto no aplica a ustedes, compartan esta información con otra gente a la cual sí les sea relevante, y siempre son bienvenidos a nuestros talleres. Gracias a todos por estar aquí presentes esta mañana y esperemos que estén teniendo una mañana muy amena.
Thank you, Lorraine, for sharing, Ms. Josefina, for sharing what PAC does and all the amazing work that you do. And again, we'll be sharing with the families. You're welcome to all of these different activities and services that our department has prepared for all our families. Thank you again.
Muchas gracias, Lorraine, por compartir esta información con nosotros, y a los padres de familia y a toda la gente que está presente aquí, les alentamos a que asistan a estas reuniones, aunque no sean partes o no apliquen a ustedes. Todos son bienvenidos a asistir.
And while I know we have a question in the chat, Lorraine, so we'll, in regards to PAC, we'll respond to the families via the chat, while we also introduce our next presenter, because we have a full agenda today.
Tenemos una pregunta en el chat, pero como tenemos una agenda apretada, vamos a seguir a nuestra siguiente presentadora, mas sin embargo, sí les vamos a resolver esa pregunta que está presente en el chat.
So thank you. So while we also, Lorraine prepares a response in the chat for the question, we're going to get ready to also introduce to you our DLAC coordinator, Ms. Aranza Garcia. She's present with us, and we're good to go. Arancha, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Aranza Garcia, and I am the English Learner Coordinator for the district. And I do support the E.A.I department with a couple of things that you will see today. One of those is the DLAC, which is the District English Learners Advisory Committee. And I want to recognize the people in the picture. The DLAC Advisory Committee is a group of parents that volunteer at their sites, being part of their ELAC, and then represent their sites here with us at the district and everything that has to do with English Learners Program. I'm going to let Ruby go ahead.
Queremos presentarles a nuestra coordinadora de DLAC, Aranzazu García, coordinadora de aprendices de inglés del Comité Asesor de Estudiantes de Inglés del Distrito. El comité es un grupo de padres que representa a su escuela aquí en el distrito.
Next slide. Okay. Sorry. This committee meets once a month, usually. These are the dates for the 2021 school year. And the members are, like I said earlier, the members of DLAC are the English Learners Advocates at the district level. The ELAC advises the SSC at the sites, which is the group that helps developing the school site plan. And the DLAC brings those ideas over to the district so that we can work on the development of the district plan or LCAP.
Este comité se reúne una vez al mes y aquí en este dispositivo en donde ven están disponibles las fechas para el año 2021, 2022. Nos reunimos una vez al mes. El ILAC asesora al SSI que desarrolla el plan escolar.
Next one. Okay. These are the DLAC responsibilities for the state of California. So like I said, we developed the EL master plan. So the DLAC officers are part of our EL committee to review and update the EL master plan. We conduct a district needs assessment in collaboration with all the needs assessments from the sites. We establish district programs, goals, and objectives for English learners. We ensure that all teachers are appropriately qualified to teach English learners. And we review and comment the reclassification of English learners, as well as the parent notification that go home for parents of English learners. And then we revise and comment on the LCAP development.
Les voy a presentar las responsabilidades de DLAC. La número 1 es participar del desarrollo del plan maestro para aprendices de inglés, llevar a cabo una encuesta de necesidades del distrito según las de cada escuela, establecer objetivos y metas para el plan de aprendices de inglés, asegurarse de que todos los maestros tengan la certificación adecuada para enseñar a los aprendices de inglés, revisar y comentar el proceso de reclasificación, revisar y comentar sobre las notificaciones a las familias de aprendices de inglés, revisar y comentar en el desarrollo del LCAP.
There's a hand raised. I don't know if anybody is going to address that now, or should I go on?
Is the parent, are they still raising their hand?
Or maybe they lower it now.
I'm sorry, es que se me había quedado la pantalla de la otra persona que estaba y lo que ella estaba presentando estaba como atrás, pero ya se quitó lo otro. Gracias.
Okay. Gracias. Okay, so next slide. Okay. Being part of DLAC is a great opportunity to become part of our education system here in Linwood. And we take very serious what we do. We work really hard, and we also become a family, become a community for our English learners. And we have in the past, thanks to the E.A.I department and Dr. Sanko, taken parents over field trips, parents of English learners. And as you can see in some of the images, we do celebrate and gather for like any special occasion. So I encourage parents of English learners to become part of their ELAC at their sites, and eventually the representatives of DLAC here at the district office, and be part of our EL family.
Ser parte de DLAC es una oportunidad para formar parte del sistema educativo, porque nos hemos convertido en una familia. Gracias a la doctora Senko hemos tenido la oportunidad de convivir anteriormente, antes pre-pandemia, y convertirnos en una familia. El ustedes formar parte del DLAC, haz de cuenta que ustedes van a estar representando a su escuela, pero a nivel distrital. Entonces los alentamos a que se reúnan a nosotros y se animen a formar parte de este concilio que es súper padrísimo.
Thank you very much. This is all for me. I believe our test takes are going to go on with this part. Is that correct, or should I keep on going with LPAC?
You are correct. We're next.
Well, thank you very much, and I hope to see you guys in your ELACs and then eventually in the DLAC. Have a great day.
Muchas gracias a todos y espero verlos en sus ELACs y espero que tengan un muy buen día.
Thank you, Arancha. Take it away, Sonia. Elja.
Hello, my name is Sonia Gutierrez, and I'm one of the testing technicians here at the district office. And Ms. Elja Guevara is the second testing technician. So basically, our responsibilities are the initial identification. This is very important. Every student that comes in with us here at the district, we go over the registration packet to identify whether they're going to be part of our program or if they're considered English learners. I mean, English only.
¿Qué tal? Buenos días a todos. Me llamo Sonia Gutiérrez y estoy presentando con Elja Guevara. Somos técnicos de pruebas. Básicamente, les queremos presentar las pruebas de suficiencia en el idioma inglés de California. Nuestras responsabilidades son identificación inicial, programa de estudiantes de inglés, prueba LPAC, monitoreo EL y reclasificación.
Okay, so if those are the responsibilities, and if we move on to the next slide, I can tell you basically how this works. So as soon as a student enrolls, there is a survey that the parent fills out. It contains 4 questions. We look at the first 3 questions. If any of those 3 questions, it's other than English, that will indicate assessment. So we assess the student with the LPAC. With the previous image, you were able to see the results. And once the student gets assessed, it could either go, he's an initial fluent English proficient, meaning his primary language is English. He will never again be assessed. But if he is not, then he becomes part of the English learner program.
La identificación inicial se lleva a cabo de la forma siguiente. En cuanto el estudiante ingresa, responden los padres a 4 preguntas cuando los están inscribiendo en la escuela. Y si una de ellas indica otro idioma que no sea inglés como idioma principal, el estudiante se clasifica como inglés solamente, E.A.I, conocido E.A.I, y el proceso se detiene. Si el idioma se identifica como otro que no sea inglés, el estudiante debe tomar evaluaciones iniciales de dominio del idioma inglés para California, hechas en ordenador. Y esto solamente es para poder identificar si los estudiantes son fluidos en inglés o si los vamos a aprender, si los vamos a poner en otro grupo que no sea solamente inglés.
So we move to the next slide. So let me tell you a little bit about the LPAC. So the LPAC, there's 2 assessments. Just like I told you first, we have the initial assessment. That's for the students when they first enter the public school system. And we have the summative. That will be in the spring at the end of the school year. They're aligned to the 2012 standards. And the task types, it follows a model in communication, which is collaborative, interpretive, and productive. There are 4 levels to the LPAC. If the student scores, for the initial, there are 3. Let me not confuse you. So for the initial, there's only 3. So when they first take the test, it's a very short test. And if they score level 3, they become an IFEP, which is fluent. They don't ever take the test again. If they score level 1 or 2, they're part of the EL program, and they have to be assessed in the spring again.
El programa de aprendices de inglés. ¿Qué necesitamos saber sobre la prueba de LPAC? Bueno, aquí unos puntos. La evaluación inicial se toma cuando los estudiantes se inscriben en el sistema de escuelas públicas por primera vez. La evaluación sumativa se toma al final del año escolar y está alineada con los estándares de ELD de 2012. Los tipos de tareas evalúan los 3 modelos de comunicación colaborativa, interpretativa y productiva. Hay 4 niveles de rendimiento, L1, 2, 3 y 4.
So now that we know a little bit about the LPAC, let's move on to the program, which is our next slide. So we monitor the progress of all the ELs. We have established programs. So every year, once the student takes the test, we look at their progress and we compare it. Our purpose here is to reach reclassification. Reclassification is simply that the student has gained the language, is able to express, is able to read and write in English. So there is a process where we take into consideration the parents' input, teachers, and we also look at standardized testing like the SBAC. So once the student reaches a level 4 in LPAC, we look at the other criterions to make sure that the students meets all 4 criteria to reclassification.
Monitoreamos el progreso de los EL. Cada año que toman el examen, comparamos las evaluaciones y la meta es que reclasifiquen. Y una vez reclasifican, nosotros tomamos reseñas de los papás, de los maestros y nosotros como equipo, porque no es una decisión que se toma unánimemente, es en equipo. Y nos fijamos en los exámenes estandarizados como el SBAC.
I know it was very briefly, but that's our program in a nutshell. We identify the students, we see who needs the services, and when I say services, we work together with the schools to provide the after-school program. And I know now with COVID, things are a little different. But before we have the after-school program or the Saturday school program, or even when the teacher has a student in the classroom prior to class or after class to work with them in a smaller group. Again, the goal is to reclassify them. The goal is for them to gain the language.
Identificamos a los estudiantes y trabajamos junto con las escuelas, a la par con las escuelas, en donde les ayudan después de escuela. Ahorita en pandemia pues es un tanto complicado eso, pero les siguen ayudando, en donde trabajan en un grupo pequeño para que, bueno, la meta final es que los estudiantes reclasifiquen. Y la reclasificación es el proceso mediante el cual un estudiante es reclasificado del estado de aprendiz de inglés al estado de dominio de inglés fluido. Entonces, queremos que tengan al tanto que esa es la meta para todos los estudiantes que son aprendices de inglés.
Every year at the beginning of the school year, we send you a letter. If your child is part of this program, you will receive a letter. It's a Title I, Title III letter, and it gives you an update, what level of LPAC the student is in, and what are the requirements that the student must meet in order to get reclassified.
Cada año, al inicio del año, les mandamos una carta, les enviamos una carta a sus hogares, y el título de la carta es Título 1, Título 3, y les estamos especificando qué es lo que sus estudiantes necesitan para que puedan reclasificar.
Real quick, I have all this return mail. So it's very important if your address has changed to please go to the school and make those changes, because otherwise you're not going to be able to receive the latest scores.
Brevemente, tengo todas estas cartas que me fueron devueltas y quiero recalcar la importancia de que ustedes mantengan actualizados sus domicilios. ¿Por qué? Porque nosotros les hacemos las pruebas de los exámenes disponibles mediante correo. Entonces les alentamos a que si su domicilio ha cambiado, les pedimos que por favor lo actualicen para que nosotros nos podamos contactar con ustedes y ustedes tengan la información disponible.
Well, thank you very much for your time. It's a pleasure. And now you guys know a little bit about our program.
Muchas gracias por su tiempo, fue un placer y ahora saben un poco de nuestro programa.
Thank you so much, Sonia. We appreciate all the information you shared. And now I'd like to introduce the team for African American Parent Advisory Council and the Asian American Pacific Islander Parent Group. We have Ms. Lenora Anson and Ms. Shirley Davis here.
Muchas gracias, Sonia, por presentarnos tu programa y lo que hacen ustedes como equipo. Ahora les queremos presentar a Ms. Lenora Archie Anson y a Ms. Shirley Davis, que son Consejo Asesor de Padres Afroamericanos, Grupo de Padres Asiático-Americanos de las Islas del Pacífico.
Good morning, everyone. This is Shirley Davis. My name is Shirley Davis, and my partner in crime today is Ms. Lenore Anson. And we're here to present a little bit of information on the African American Parent Advisory Council. First of all, I'd like to introduce my team. We have Mr. Larry Reed, who is also part of our team. He's the Educational Enrichment Coordinator. We have Mr. Ellis Barfield. He's our Community Liaison. And Ms. Trinka Barnett, who's one of our instructional leads. And as a team, we work in the schools, primarily providing supports to our African American students. We've been in effect for over 10 years.
Buenos días a todos, me llamo Shirley Davis y mi compañera es Lenora Anson. Les quiero presentar a mi equipo, que están conformados por el coordinador de enriquecimiento educativo que se llama Larry Reed. También tenemos al enlace comunitario que se llama Ellis Barfield y tenemos a la líder de instrucción, se llama Trinka Barnett. Como equipo trabajamos en las escuelas juntos. Good to go, Ms. Shirley.
All right. We've been actually working with our African American students. We started over 15 years ago in the school sites, the high schools and middle schools in particular. Basically providing academic support and ensuring our students do well in school because we had a high failure rate.
Trabajamos con nuestros estudiantes afroamericanos asegurándonos de que les vaya bien académicamente hablando.
So I think the first place to start is to inform you, first of all, right now in Linwood Unified School District, we have 12,750 students totally in the Linwood Unified School District. Only 744 of those students are African Americans. That's less than 6% of our entire student population.
Actualmente, de 12,750 estudiantes en el Distrito Escolar Unificado de Linwood, solamente 744 son afroamericanos. Eso es menos del 6% de toda la población estudiantil.
So many people question, why do we need an African American Parent Advisory Council? Well, just like in all of our other parent advisory councils, we're here to provide supports. The record shows that when more parents are involved in the students' education, the students are successful.
Mucha gente se cuestiona el por qué tenemos un consejo asesor de padres afroamericanos, más sin embargo, queremos recalcar que cuando los padres están involucrados en la educación de los niños son más exitosos educacionalmente hablando.
So first of all, let's state the purpose of the African American Parent Advisory Council. First of all, it's to support and empower African American parents to partner with schools, to identify the needs of African American students, to achieve academically at a higher level, and to identify strategies and resources that will eliminate barriers to their achievement.
Perdón. Antes de todo, queremos informar el propósito del Concilio Afroamericano. ¿Por qué necesitamos un consejo asesor de padres afroamericanos? Bueno, el propósito es apoyar y empoderar a los padres afroamericanos para que se asocien con las escuelas, para identificar las necesidades de los estudiantes afroamericanos, para lograr logros académicos en niveles altos e identificar estrategias y recursos que eliminarán las barreras a su rendimiento.
So by providing this African American Parent Advisory Council, our goal is to provide a unique space for African American parents to learn, to share, and to receive district resources that provide social and emotional and academic support that is so needed for African American student success.
La meta es proporcionar un espacio único para que los padres afroamericanos aprendan, compartan y reciban recursos del distrito que brinden apoyo social, emocional y académico para el éxito de los estudiantes afroamericanos.
So let's look at our objectives. What is the objective? The APAC, as it's called, will empower parents to advocate for the needs of their children by advocating for improvement and expansion of opportunities and quality programs that address the unique needs of African American students.
Echemos un vistazo a los objetivos del APAC, conocido como APAC, asesor de Consejo de Padres Afroamericanos. El APAC capacitará a los padres para defender las necesidades de sus hijos, abogando por la mejora y expansión de oportunidades y programas de calidad que aborden sus necesidades únicas.
The APAC will also involve and engage parents, families, and students and educators in the decision-making process at the local, district, and regional levels, including stakeholder participation in LCAP planning.
El APAC involucra y compromete a los padres, familias, estudiantes y educadores en el proceso de toma de decisiones a nivel local, distrital y regional, incluida la participación de las partes interesadas en la planificación LCAP.
The APAC will celebrate African American culture and traditions with African American APAC parents and district-wide.
El APAC celebrará la cultura y las tradiciones afroamericanas con los padres de APAC y en todo el distrito.
Now, I mentioned earlier that we've actually been, this program has actually been in effect for like 10 or 15 years informally. We've been working in the schools with parents, mainly at the high school and the middle school levels, and having monthly meetings. And we've grown tremendously over the years to a level now with the help and assistance of the Equity Department to a district African American Advisory Council.
Ahora mencioné anteriormente que este programa ha existido por muchos años porque nosotros como equipo hemos estado trabajando arduamente para ofrecer este tipo de oportunidades a padres y estudiantes y asegurarnos que sean académicamente exitosos. Mas, sin embargo, no fue hasta ahora que hemos llegado a un consejo ya legal, que hemos sido reconocidos como consejo.
So the African American Parent Advisory Council will guide parents and families to help their African American students embrace, first of all, their identity and be proud, but also excel in college readiness and multicultural leadership.
El APAC guiará a los padres, familias para ayudar a sus estudiantes de AA a adoptar su identidad y sobresalir en la preparación universitaria y liderazgo multicultural.
The APAC will empower the lives of the African American children and families by providing knowledge and skills necessary to advocate for high quality educational experiences.
El APAC empoderará las vidas de los niños y las familias afroamericanos al proporcionar los conocimientos y las habilidades necesarias para abogar por experiencias educativas de alta calidad.
And lastly, the APAC will promote cultural proficiency and equitable practices in schools.
Y finalmente, el APAC ayudará a promover la competencia cultural y las prácticas equitativas en las escuelas.
Now I'd like Ms. Lenora Anson, my partner, to please take the next slide.
Ahora le cedo la palabra a mi compañera, Ms. Lenora Anson, para que presente el próximo dispositivo.
Thank you so much, Ms. Davis, and good morning, everyone. Bienvenidos a todos. I'd like to read just what some of our membership in the APAC would include.
Muchas gracias a todos y bienvenidos. Me gustaría leer un poco de la composición de nuestro APAC y en lo que consiste la membresía del APAC.
So we do intend to use and abide by all of the legal requirements that are necessary for any parent council. And this is the formation of this particular council. The APAC will consist of 3 chairpersons, will be 1 district staff member, 1 African-American student, 1 parent of an African-American student who is currently enrolled in Linwood Unified, and the director, the Linwood, 1 LUSD, 1 director serves as the advisor.
Tenemos toda la intención de seguir los requisitos legales de los consejos. La composición gobernante de LUSD y del APAC consiste en 3 presidentes de APAC que sirven simultáneamente un miembro del personal del distrito, un estudiante afroamericano, un padre de un estudiante afroamericano actualmente inscrito en LUSD y el director de LUSD sirve como asesor. Solamente requeriremos 1 también.
Thank you, Ruby. Next slide, please. We'd like to continue to outreach to our families, both to our African-American families and to the families of our Asian American Pacific Islander students. And we do that by engaging in several activities. As you note by the photos below, some of the programs include family nights, semester grades recognition, drive-through celebrations and parent volunteer recognition, district to school, district, school, and home relationship communications. And I'd really like to give a note to Ms. Davis because she spends a lot of time reaching out personally to our families and to our parents to bridge the gap between what's happening at home and what's being offered at the district and how we can enrich them at the school site.
Nos gustaría continuar conectándonos con nuestras familias y lo hacemos al mantenernos en contacto con nuestras familias. ¿Cómo se relaciona APAC con los padres y las familias? Bueno, pues tenemos noches familiares, reconocimiento de calificaciones semestrales, celebraciones de drive-thru en donde los padres conducen su coche y nosotros les damos reconocimientos y padres voluntarios y reconocimientos, comunicaciones de la relación entre el distrito, la escuela y el hogar, apoyos socioemocionales para los padres para proporcionar orientación para la preparación académica y universitaria del niño, excursiones culturales para abrazar y comprender la herencia de AA. También quiero reconocer a Ms. Davis porque siempre se toma el tiempo de contactarse con nuestros padres y tener una conexión más amena.
Thank you, Ruby. Additional programs include our Teen Summit, our Rites of Passage. That's an afternoon dedicated to our graduating seniors and those who are culminating. We have direct student academic support and advocacy. We have our African-American parent-student representation school site student go-between teacher interventions. That is something that actually is still being developed. Grade and course monitoring, college night, understanding financial aid, college experiences, and of course our Black and Latinx College Expo. Those things are all supported.
Tenemos programas adicionales como cumbres de adolescentes, derechos de paso en donde nosotros estamos reconociendo a los estudiantes que se están graduando, apoyo, abogacía académica directa para estudiantes, AA representación de padres, estudiantes, intervención de estudiantes en el sitio escolar, intervenciones de maestros, monitoreo de calificaciones y cursos, noche universitaria, entender o poder comprender una ayuda financiera, aceptaciones universitarias y exposición universitarias.
And although some of the programs do differ between the programs offered to our African American students and our Asian Pacific Islander students, they're all supported through the district, and we do have a parent group who supports us, particularly with our AAPI families. Ms. Davis, would you like to go over some of our flyers?
Y aunque,
Certainly.
y aunque los programas sí tienen diferencias, todos son apoyados por el distrito. Y ahora les cedo la palabra a Ms. Davis.
Yes, the next couple of slides, we have a couple of examples of some of the events we've held over the last year, even though we had a coronavirus, epidemic and everything's been virtual. But first of all, May of last year, we had an African American, before we were officially established, we still had an African American Parent Advisory Council meetings once a quarter. And basically those are meetings that we have annually where we blast the families with phone and flyers to invite them to come and see what we're all about, or to participate in our meetings that we do have and that we've had virtually.
Los próximos dispositivos tienen algunos ejemplos de volantes de eventos que llevamos a cabo en el año pasado. Antes de ser oficialmente establecido, nos reunimos una vez por trimestre como Consejo Asesor de Familias Afroamericanas.
And the other two flyers, there's the African American Forum, where we invite parents and families out to discuss the state of our students in the district in regards to their grade, academic performance, where we stand, college readiness. And then lastly, we have a flyer that talks about our annual end of the year graduation that we have for our students, drive-through, which is what's called the rites of passage.
Y los otros volantes fueron foros para hablar sobre el estado de nuestros estudiantes, si están preparados para la graduación, qué requieren. Y el último fue un ritos de pasaje en donde estuvimos celebrando la graduación de nuestros estudiantes.
And that particularly encapsulates what we're doing to support all of our students, particularly our students who are in subgroups. They do need bridging. They need to have their educational experience bridge from the classroom to the world at large, and that's what we're here to do. And I'd like to thank Ms. Davis and Mrs. Barnett and Mr. Barfield, our team members. Of course, we're supported by Dr. Sanko, and I'd like to give thanks to Fauna Blanco and Jasmine Velasco for inviting us to participate in this meet and greet, and of course to the parents for your time in listening to our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Y eso particularmente encapsula lo que hacemos para nuestros estudiantes, porque hay muchos espacios que tenemos que conectar. Y por eso es que apoyamos a nuestros estudiantes, porque son grupos de minoría. Entonces, para hacer esa minoría menos presente y que se sientan más escuchados, es que nosotros hacemos este tipo de temas y apoyamos este tipo de eventos. Le quiero dar las gracias a Ms. Jasmine Velasco, a Ms. Fauna Blanco, a Ms. Shirley Davis, a Ms. Trinica, a Mr. Barfield y a Mr. Larry. Muchas gracias por ser un equipo increíble y por siempre trabajar arduamente con nosotros.
Well, we want to thank Ms. Davis and Nora. Thank you for sharing with our families. As you can all see, this is just coming out of E.A.I, and I'm sure you got a chance to hear a lot of the services and resources that we have prepared for our families. So there's a lot that we have. So we would love for you to be that voice out in the community as well. Any family that you think will benefit from any of these programs, like you've heard it from everyone here in our team, all our families are welcome. So we hope that you continue to connect with us throughout the year.
Muchas gracias a Ms. Davis y a Ms. Arkley. Imagínense, esto solamente es el Departamento de Educación, Acceso y Servicios de Instrucción. Y somos un departamento no tan grande, entonces queremos que sigan apoyando este tipo de movimientos, que sigan apoyando a nuestros departamentos para que nosotros les podamos hacer disponibles recursos que les sean útiles a ustedes como padres de familia.
Now, we're getting ready to close out our first meet and greet session. And one quote that we always use and utilize throughout all our work is this quote right here that we would like to see if there's someone in the audience who would like to read it either in English or in Spanish, and then we can, Ms. Ruby will do us the pleasure of interpreting the quote. But is there a volunteer in the audience? A brave volunteer? Okay, we have a few volunteers here. Let's see.
Estamos por cerrar y finalizar nuestra sesión. Les pedimos que por favor una persona haga voluntariado para que pueda leer la cita que está aquí en el ordenador.
So go ahead. Who has the mic open now?
Si gustan, lo puedo leer.
Okay.
Buen día, mi nombre es Alma Betancourt y dice así: cuando la escuela, las familias y los grupos comunitarios trabajan juntos para apoyar el aprendizaje, los niños tienden a mejorar en la escuela, quedarse más tiempo en la escuela y gustarles más la escuela. Henderson en MAP.
Good morning, my name is Alma Betancourt. When school, families, and community groups work together to support learning, children tend to do better in school, stay in school longer, and like school more. By Henderson and Map.
Thank you, Ms. Betancourt. And I think this is why we're here, right? We know we can't do this work alone, just like we mentioned in the beginning of our session. It really does take a whole village, and we want you to meet your village. Today, you got a chance to see a few of the faces of our E.A.I team. This is not the entire team. We hope that you get a chance throughout the year to meet them. You have amazing people working behind the scenes, and there's a lot of different programs that they're preparing and getting ready for our families. So we hope that you're able to take advantage of those events and services. We did share a link in the chat. Some of you were asking for the dates for the parent and family workshops presented by PAC. We shared that in the chat, and we hope to get that flyer to all of you as well.
Creo que por ello estamos aquí, porque no podemos trabajar solos. Se necesita todo un pueblo para mover montañas. Es la verdad, y tenemos un equipo con gente increíble, trabajando arduamente para ofrecerles recursos. Y de hecho compartimos un enlace de los talleres de PAC que está en el chat para que ustedes puedan acceder a ellos y están disponibles a ustedes.
So there are many options, but so next week, we have our second session of this series. You're going to get a chance to now meet some of the staff from the technology department. And they really, really want to hear from our families, specifically to all the different technological needs during these times. So your voice matters. We hope that you're able to join us again on Tuesday, same time, same link. We'll be sharing that out as well, reminding you guys to come back. And this is the only way we can connect in the meantime. So having you on the call means a lot to us. So we hope to see you next Tuesday.
La próxima semana tendremos nuestra próxima serie y estaremos presentando al Departamento Tecnológico. Quieren compartir y escuchar de ustedes como padres. Se llevará a cabo el martes 14 de septiembre a la misma hora de 10 a 11 de la mañana.
SoCal Jazz. Calls may be monitored or recorded for quality and training.
Okay, second. So I know we're getting ready to do our drawing, so thank you for adding your names. We want to make sure we have everyone's names. But while we get that ready, we want to share with you how you can continue to connect with the E.A.I team. We do have a Twitter account that you can find us at @EquityLUSD. Then we also included the telephone number for our department, which is the 310-886-1600 with the extension 8132. Also, our secretary's email, which she made sure she wanted you to know that if you ever want to get in contact with any of our team members, anyone who shared with you today or another team member that might not be on today, please email her or call her. Her email is steptoe at mylusd.org, and she'll connect you to the right team member, okay? So please take down this information. Remember, we're going to post this presentation in our YouTube channel, so that way you can always go back and get this information. So,
Sé que nos estamos preparando para finalizar y hacer el sorteo, mas sin embargo les queremos dejar una información que es muy importante para ustedes. Queremos que nos mantengamos en contacto y nos mantengamos conectados. Tenemos aquí nuestro enlace para nuestro Twitter, que es Equity, LUSD. Tenemos el número de nuestro departamento, que es 310-886-1600, extensión 8132. Y les pedimos que por favor tomen nota del correo electrónico que está disponible. Es el correo de nuestra secretaria. En caso de que ustedes se quieran contactar con alguno de nosotros o alguien que no presentó, ella les puede poner en contacto con la persona que ustedes quieran contactar.
yes. Thank you, Ruby. So Ms. Blanco's getting ready to do our drawing. We want to make sure you stay on the line. It's just a quick drawing, and we're going to connect with you. All the names that were added in the chat were included in the drawing, okay? So good luck to all of you.
Ms. Blanco se está preparando para hacer el sorteo. Todas las personas que estuvieron presentes y siguen presentes van a calificar para este sorteo.
Let's see. Is Ms. Olympia in the call still?
¿Está María Olimpia presente en la llamada?
Do we
Sí.
hear? I think I heard a faint C, but I'm not sure. Is she on the call?
I think so too.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. Muchas gracias, Ms. Olympia. Si nos puede proporcionar su correo electrónico en el chat, por favor. If you can please provide us with your email in the chat, we're going to connect with you.
Está bien, gracias.
So I hope that you got a chance to meet a new face, be reintroduced to one of our team members. Please give us a comment in the chat. We hope that you were able to find the information useful. And what we'll do is we'll connect with you again on Tuesday. Please come back and get to know a lot of the rest of your village, okay, here in Linwood Unified.
Esperamos que hayan podido conocer un poco más de nuestro departamento y que esta información les sea útil, y los esperamos aquí la próxima semana para que sigan conociendo el pueblo pequeño y no tan pequeño que es el LUSD y conozcan a cada uno de los integrantes de nuestros departamentos.